Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today. And today, the yesterday, the Indiana Pacers and Toronto Raptors made a big trade where the Pelicans were involved in as well. And we're going to be doing some trade grades from this trade. We're gonna give a grade for each three teams that were involved in the trade. But before we do that, let's go over the trade details. The Pacers are trading for two-time All-Star Pascal Siakam, who's averaging over 22 points. And in return, they're sending 3 first-round picks, 2 picks in 24, which one belongs to them, one belongs to Oklahoma City. And then a 2026 first-round pick, which belongs to them. So those 3 first-round picks, alongside with Bruce Brown Jr., Jordan Nwora, two NBA champs right there. Jordan Nwora, who won a championship with Milwaukee in 21, and Bruce Brown Jr., who played a pivotal role in the Nuggets NBA championship last year, coming off the bench, being their best player off the bench, and provided a great spark for them. Bruce Brown and Jordan Nwora get sent to Toronto from Indiana. The third team in the trade, the Pelicans, they send former first-round pick Kira Lewis Jr. So 3 guards going over to Toronto, and then those 3 first-round picks as well. Indiana receives 2-time All-Star Pascal Siakam, who is on an expiring deal. All the players in this trade are on expiring deals besides Bruce Brown Jr., so 3 out of the 4 are expiring contracts. So they received Pascal Siakam and a second-round pick from the Pelicans. And the Pelicans, they didn't really receive anything in this trade. They just give up a second-round pick and Kira Lewis Jr., who didn't do much. They go below the tax level with $18 million, and which gives them some money, some money to fill in throughout the trade deadline, and are most likely to be active through the trade deadline. So, and creates a roster spot open for them. So, that is what they did in this trade. Now, maybe there are some details that the Pelicans did receive something and has not been announced yet, but honestly, a day after this trade happened, I don't really see any details coming out about this trade that we haven't heard about yet. So those are the full trade details. So let's start with team grades. We're going to start with the Pelicans because they didn't really do much here. I'm going to give them a B here. They clear some money away with, $18 million they clear away, and also create a roster spot open, which will create, which will allow them to be more active at the trade deadline than they might have already been, and were planning to, and so that's good for them. But give up a second round pick, that won't hurt them too much. They get rid of Kira Lewis, who's for a first round pick has not been successful at all. I'm gonna give them a solid B on this trade. I don't think this was too much. This trade didn't hurt them. I think this trade helped them just a little bit, but it's not game changing for them. We'll see what else they make, other moves they make throughout the trade deadline, which might change my thoughts about this trade for them. All right, for the Pacers, I'm gonna have to give it a B+ for them. Sure, it's great that they're acquiring Pascal Siakam. He's a 2-time All-Star. He's an NBA champion. He will help improve his team, but the bad thing is he's an expiring contract, and there are no guarantees whatsoever that he will return to the team. So giving up 3 first-round picks and Bruce Brown Jr., who you signed to a big deal and wasn't doing too bad for your team, was averaging 12, 5, and 3, and was playing good defense for your squad as well. Wasn't playing as good as he was with Denver, but was still playing good. You give up a good player in Jordan Nwora, who's an elite scorer, but was not playing much minutes this season. But the bigger part for them is giving up 3 first-round picks for a guy who very well in June or July, in 5 or 6 months, might leave you. So it's a rental, and sure, he's a great player. Here's the thing. It's not like he guarantees them winning a championship. I think he guarantees them being better, them being a better team in the Eastern Conference than they already are. But he doesn't guarantee an NBA championship. He's not a superstar player. He's an all-star caliber player who will, provide a second all-star next to Tyrese Halliburton, which he does not have currently. So that's going to be great for them. But unless they make any other moves, I don't think they're championship caliber right now. Maybe things change. Sure, Tyrese is one of the best point guards in the game right now. Sure, Pascal is an all-star caliber player, and they have other talented players on their team like Miles Turner, a couple other really nice players on their team, but I just don't see them being championship scary right now, and that's one of the things that makes me say it's only a B plus because if you don't offer him a good contract, he's going to leave somewhere else because there will be other teams that will be willing to throw him the bag to leave the Pacers. So that's why I'm going to give them a B plus in this trade. And then going to the Raptors, I have to give them an A minus. Now the player value they got back for Pascal Siakam is kind of weak, but that's because they're getting 3 first-round picks. That's the part I really love for the Raptors is if they're heading into rebuild, draft picks are pivotal. You've seen teams like the Rockets, the Jazz, and the Thunder who have gone into rebuild. Those teams, they first-round picks and young players who they've gotten in the draft have been big parts to help their team. You've seen all 3 of those teams make improvement this season, and all 3 of those teams have success. OKC is in a top 4 seed or top 5 seed in the Western Conference right now. Houston, which I am a Rockets fan, non-biased, is the 11th seed. I know that's not great, but being dead last in the NBA for the previous 3 seasons before that, the 11th seed in 1921 is really good with where they were before. And Utah on the other end has been playing lights out recently. I think they're like 22-20 or something like that, and have been playing great basketball. So all those 3 teams, who sure they have talent elsewhere, they've added in players through the trade market, and I'm mainly talking about Utah and Houston, Utah's added in players through the trade market. And free agency, Houston's added in a lot of players through free agency, but a lot of those, there's a lot of players on all 3 of those teams that have had success, and that were just recently drafted. I mean, for the Rockets, Alperen Sengun, Jabari Smith Jr., Tari Eason playing really well. Same thing goes for Jalen Green, who's kind of struggling but is playing good basketball. For the Thunder, Chet Holmgren, both Jalen Williams. A couple other players on their roster. The Jazz, Ochai Ogbaji has been playing really well. Walker Kessler's been playing really well. A couple other players on their roster have been playing really well who they drafted. Keontae George has been playing some excellent basketball off the bench for Utah. So all 3 of those teams have had a lot of success through players that they've recently drafted. And I think for the Raptors, I'm sure they have some decent draft capital, but there are not a lot of players on their team right now that are successful who were recently drafted. Grady Dick has not showed much. He was their first-round pick, 13th overall last year. So for the Raptors, I'm going to give them an A- on this trade. Bruce Brown, I don't even think he is staying on the team. I think they're going to flip him somewhere else. We'll see where that is too, or what they get for him. That, I think, has more potential to get some more draft capital. Jordan Nwora, I think he will stay, and he'll provide a pivotal role off the bench. Kyrie Lewis, I don't think he's going to really do anything for the team. And I think that draft capital will really help the Raptors, so that's why I gave them an A- in this trade. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on the trade in the comment section, and give me your trade grades if you're willing to. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out.